guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing some boneless barbecue pork ribs, and we got a package like this, and we're going to turn these into really tender, really delicious ribs. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be too quick though, because it's going to take probably about 3 hours in the oven or so to cook, because we want them to come out fall apart tender. So we're going to take you through the steps of that. I'm going to show you how to make it happen. It really is a pretty simple recipe, and you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. Okay, we'll get right to it. Okay, so we are dicing up half of a small onion, and I'm going to do it kind of small, so you can see how small those pieces are, because we want them to kind of melt into our barbecue sauce. And then it is really going to make some really great flavors for us. That's probably right. That's probably about enough right there. If I had to measure, I'd say it's probably a half a cup of onions that are finely minced. It's a barbecue sauce, so we want to make sure that we get all of our flavors in there that are going to marry really good. And that's the point of making the onions small, because it's a sauce. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is start putting this together. So the barbecue sauce that we're putting together, you probably already have most of the ingredients at home already. So basically what we're using about a cup and a quarter, or excuse me, a cup and a half of ketchup and 1/2 cup of water. And then we're going to put that in our bowl, and we are going to combine that with a cup and 1/3 of brown sugar. We're going to add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to go in with about 1.5 tablespoons of molasses, just because we like molasses, and our onion, of course. And then I have spices here that I've mixed up already. Let me see what my recipe says. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget what I need to tell you. So in here we have 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder. We have 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you like pepper flakes, you could add that just for a little kick in your sauce. Now, if you don't like a warmer barbecue sauce, then go ahead and leave those out. It's really what you want to do with it. And another option, if you happen to have liquid smoke, you could add about 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke if you like that smoky flavor in your barbecue sauce. I don't happen to care either way, and I don't have any smoky sauce in the house, so we're not going to go with that. So we're just going to go with the ingredients that I just talked to you about. So we're going to put all these together. We're going to stir it all up. We're going to get this thing rolling. Okay, into our bowl, we're going to put our ketchup and our water. We went ahead and combined that together just to make it a little bit easier to measure. Okay, and to that, we're going to add our minced onion. Then we are going to go in with our brown sugar. Our Worcestershire sauce. There we go. It's about enough of that. And our molasses. And the molasses I'm using is an unsulfured molasses. So unsulfured, not the blackstrap. The blackstrap has a little stronger of a flavor than what I'm going with. I prefer the little bit milder flavor to that. So we're going to put about 1.5 tablespoons in there. That's probably it right there. And then we're just going to stir this all together. Now, if you just wanted to make barbecue sauce just to have it on hand, you just do all of this, and you're going to put it in a saucepan and heat it up until it starts to where it's just under a boil, and then turn it down to simmer. And then you let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so on the stove until the onions are tender. And then take it off, let it cool, put it in a container, and then you've got your barbecue sauce for your next barbecue, whether it's ribs or chicken or whatever. There we go. Now we're all set to get our ribs ready to go into our Dutch oven. I have preheated the oven to 325 because we want to cook it low and slow. We want to make sure those ribs fall apart tender. So that is the key, low and slow. And we'll check on them a few times, but I figure it's going to be at least 3 hours, but it might surprise me. I'll let you know as we go. And our ribs are only about, it may not take that long, they're only about 1 inch in thickness, so we may surprise ourselves and be done earlier than that, but I'm not going to rush them. All right. Okay, so we're going to go in with our ribs in our pot. You can leave these whole, or you could cut them in half if you like. I'm just going to leave them the way that they are. Just like that. Now I will rinse my ribs and then pat them dry, and then I just put them back on the same container that they came in. It's really up to you if you choose to rinse or not rinse. I just generally will. Okay, so I'm going to pour the barbecue sauce over these ribs, and I am going to put these in the oven. And we're going to serve these with some mashed potatoes. The barbecue sauce goes really well with a side of mashed potatoes and a vegetable. So when we get to that point, we'll show you what we're going to do with that. Okay, there it is. Now we're going to put the lid on it, and it's going to go right into the oven. Now that we got our ribs in the oven, let me just take a minute and say thanks to everybody who has newly subscribed. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the support and the comments that I'm getting from everybody. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. It really is supporting me and what I'm trying to do here. So I really appreciate that. If you like the video, hit that like button. Okay. I just realized that I was really so concerned about making sure that I read all these ingredients off to you guys. I forgot to put the seasoning in. So I went ahead and I stirred it in with the sauce and the ribs all together, which is fine. It won't hurt a thing. So see there, it's easy to forget something, but just go ahead and stir it in. So I did, and that'll make them taste really good now. All right, you know what? I make mistakes too, and if I can make this come out good and yummy and delicious, you can too. Okay, so here we are, and it's 2.5 hours later, and our ribs are done, and that sauce thickened up really nicely. So as you can see, it's pretty thick. I probably could have taken it out at 2 hours, and it would have been fine, but just so you know, this is what it looks like coming out. So I'm going to put the lid on it and wait until we have our mashed potatoes so we can get those mashed and our vegetable, and then we're going to plate this up for you. Okay, see you soon. Okay, our dinner is done, so we're going to plate this up and take a look and see how it came out. Oh my goodness, these ribs look very tender. Let's add a little extra barbecue sauce on there just because. Okay, so a little secret is I add just a little barbecue sauce to the plate. There we go. So we have our boneless pork ribs, mashed potatoes with a little bit of barbecue sauce, and I made some peas to go with our dinner tonight. So hey, you know what? If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Just hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It helps me tremendously. Okay, we're going to give this a try and see just how well it turned out. It's super tender. Very, very tender. Oh, that looks really good. It's very, very good. It's really good barbecue. So let me know what you think. I appreciate any comments that you might have. And you guys have a really great day. Thank you. Bye now.